Hey, what's going on, guys? Been a long time since I made a video. Actually been on a vacation for the last couple weeks. A personal vacation, a very rare personal vacation that I took out actually to the Dominican Republic. And that was actually paid for partly by dividends. And I can tell you guys, it's a great feeling having your vacation paid for partly by dividends. Now, one day, dividends will cover all my living expenses, so I can start taking infinite vacations, but it's still going to be a couple more years till that happens. So I just wanted to give you guys a portfolio update. But no, it's been a while since I put out a video, but here's how the portfolio is doing. I wanted to be transparent with you guys. So I actually started off the year with about $168,000 in my portfolio. Started off 2024 with 168K. That number has ballooned. I would say almost exploded to $218,000. It has been a great year in the stock market. And this is what happens when you just keep chipping away, keep adding money to your portfolio. For me, I try to add money every single week. Been doing this for the past almost 7 years now, guys. And, great things happen. The compounding really starts to occur and show here. So up to $218,000, almost $219,000. But we can see here, guys, I'm still beating the market. So by the end of October of 2024, in the past year, my portfolio was up 50%. That is just insane returns. Stock market has just been doing so well past year. And of course, that means a lot of us are getting rich together, guys. I'm just holding and buying shares, and great things are continue to happen. This is beating the overall market. S&P 500 over the past year is up 38%. Again, these are definitely abnormal returns, right? The S&P 500 historically returns 7 to 10%. So to get a 38% return in a year is amazing. So I'm outpacing it in the overall 1 year by 12%. 3 years, I'm up 11%. This is probably more what the S&P 500 gives when you factor in some bear markets. Like 2022 was not a good year for the stock market, so that gets factored in. Overall, up about 11%. Overall, S&P 500 in the 3-year span was up 9%. So still beating it there over a 3-year span. A year to date, up 32%. S&P 500 up 21%. So beating it there by about 11%. And then still doing pretty good for the overall month and 3 months, beating the market there as well. So it's just been a great time to be an investor in the stock market. Lots of great things happening here, guys. All right, guys, for the dividend update, I used to make these monthly videos going over all my dividends. I didn't think that was the best use of time anymore, so I just wanted to give an update since we last talked. So in the month of September, I made $446 in dividends. In the month of October, I made $174. Again, it's a great feeling going on vacation and checking your portfolio while you're on the beach, having a pina colada, and you see the dividend checks continue to come in. There is honestly not many things that are a better feeling than that. And I got to witness that firsthand this past week. So again, just a great feeling, guys. Now you might notice the dividends I made in the month of October was actually a little bit lower than what it was in 2023. Again, sometimes I just do some reshuffling of my portfolio, just transferring money from different positions. But overall, the amount of dividends that I'm expected to get in 2024, we're at 2,400 right now. It should easily exceed what we made in 2023 at 2,700. So I'm having already a pretty nice month of November rolling in, and then I'll have a super juicy month of December, getting close to getting $500 in dividends in 1 month. That is just incredible, guys. Again, a long way from retiring, but having months like this, having years like this is just a great feeling. It gets me very optimistic for what the future might hold. Maybe hitting retirement sooner than I expected, and then I can start taking more and more vacations, start seeing more of the world, and not have to go into my 9 to 5. All right, guys, I did have a subscriber question coming from Good Fortune 90. He asked, how are you preparing your impressive portfolio? Thank you for the compliment in there, by the way. For a Kamala Harris or President Donald Trump presidency. So this was asked before the election that you guys obviously know the results of. A lot of us celebrated, some harder than others. You guys saw my stock market presidential election video that I put out right before the election. I got 49 out of the 50 states right. The only one that I didn't get correctly was I narrowly gave Michigan to Kamala Harris. I didn't think she would do that bad where she would lose every single swing state, but she, of course, found a way. So I got 49 out of 50 right. And starting on January 20th, 2025, you can start scapegoating and blaming all your problems on somebody else for the next 4 years. Are you too fat? Is your wife cheating on you? Well, now you can blame the incoming administration. That's how life unfortunately works. People often don't take accountability for their own actions, but remember this, guys, it doesn't matter who's in power. You are responsible for your own success in this life. It doesn't matter what Donnie or Uncle Joey B are doing. I will continue to be successful. You can only control your life. You can't control what others do. So going back to Good Fortune's question, how am I going to prepare for a Donald Trump presidency or a Kamala Harris presidency? Well, guys, it would have been the same regardless of who would have won. Thankfully, I don't need to worry about a Kamala presidency, but I would have prepared exactly the same under both. The reason that I do this is that I buy great companies. I don't constantly buy and sell out of positions. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor. I vet my companies. I do my research. I don't just listen to some random idiot on YouTube. I need to understand how the company makes money and if they're going to be making me money in the future. Let's just take a look at some sectors that I have money in. These are companies that I personally own, that I have invested in. These are the sectors, right? There's banking. I paid a lot of money to JP Morgan Chase in fees. Oh my gosh, these international transaction fees are ridiculous. It's literally the equivalent of setting money on fire. Pro tip to anybody that travels internationally, just bring US dollars with you rather than trying to convert money through an ATM. Anyway, guys, banking, railroads, healthcare, cybersecurity, credit cards, data centers, gaming. A lot of us do search engine results such as a Google. Online shopping, can't forget about Amazon. We got Las Vegas hotels, right? Vici Properties, real estate, REITs, index funds. These cover all sorts of companies that aren't even covered here. Of course, we all love covered call ETFs, right? They give us those juicy premiums, extra dividends, really high yields. Of course, there's the good old fast food, coffee, soda, gas stations, big tech. Gas stations, by the way, I saw a lot of Shells in the Dominican Republic. Made me proud to be a shareholder of something that's so far away from home. And last I checked, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, we all use these different sectors every single day. Every single second of the day, somebody is using one of these and so many other things that I don't even have listed here. But that's a way that we can profit off of it. We put stupid labels on ourselves to divide each other, to hate each other. But the truth is, we all bleed green. We all love money. So this is exactly how I'm investing. I'm just gonna keep buying great profitable businesses and great sectors to be invested in. We need businesses to thrive. We need one another to live. I like buying great companies that I don't need to babysit. I don't need to review the latest quarterly earnings because they're just gonna keep telling me good news. And yes, they will occasionally share bad news, but that doesn't just mean I go out and panic sell. I try to keep the emotion out of it. Remember guys, wealth is built over time. Stop trying to get rich overnight. I just looked at my total capital gains. They were at like $90,000 in just total returns. So for all of you just worrying about dividends, capital appreciation is definitely the one that I use to build more wealth with over time. I also wanted to give you guys a little bit more dividend motivation to actually see some of the checks that came in for me in the past couple months. So in September, I had Pepsi pay me nearly $28 in dividends. I had Coca-Cola pay me $17.10. And then I had JP Morgan Chase paying me $31.21. I really hope Chase enjoys all the ATM transaction fees that they juiced out of me this past week. So why did I specifically pick Pepsi and Coca-Cola other than having those nice juicy dividends come in? Well, it's because Donald Trump actually announced that Robert F. Kennedy would lead the Department of Health and Human Services, and he's been very vocal about corporate influences and what he calls the industrial food complex, which Pepsi and Coca-Cola are part of, right? They sell sugary drinks and foods to kids, to adults, and many interpret his appointment to mean that this might mean there's more laws or restrictions on what actually goes into our food. It could also impact how food is advertised to people and what is and isn't allowed. Seeing how the vast majority of America these days is overweight and also the world, and this is causing people to have shorter lifespans, have all sorts of problems, clog up our healthcare resources. perhaps it's not the worst thing in the world to potentially ask questions or make some changes about what we're all consuming. Now, again, this is all speculation, but the stock market often tends to overreact to news, which can create lucrative buying opportunities. Coca-Cola and Pepsi are fantastic companies with a track record of increasing profits and paying dividends to shareholders for decades. These are both dividend kings with over 50 uninterrupted years of dividend increases, rewarding their shareholders every single quarter. They are dividend kings for a reason. The current administration isn't permanent. In 4 years, there will be new people. And I have a feeling Pepsi and Coca-Cola will exist in 4 years, paying me dividends all along the way, right? This is companies that have been around for over 100 years, been through many wars, all the different events that have happened in the past 100 years. I will gladly buy more Coke and Pepsi during this time when others are fearful of something that may or may not even happen. And this is how I always get an edge on the market. I try to do what others aren't going to be doing. I have a long-term mindset. Others are short-term in their thinking, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices to get ahead for tomorrow. So make sure you guys leave a like. My videos are always found in podcast form. Thank you to all my Patreons who get access to all my weekly trades, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Let me eat my noodle here and while we're talking. Oh my god, my noodle is soft. There's no liquid now.